Here we go!
Welcome back to the Nintendo Power Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Nice One, and joining me right now is my co-host, Blues, and we're going to talk about what we didn't talk about in the main show. What we're going to talk about now is the new Smash Brothers game that just got officially unveiled at E3. And guys, it's going to be a fun one because there's a lot of changes to the game that we're kind of just dying to talk about. So, for starters, we officially got the game's title. It's going to be called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yes.
And there is a very specific reason for that, which will get us into our first talking point, the roster. Every single character from every single Smash game is playable in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. That is a roster of over 60 characters. That is a whole lot. We're seeing fighters that have only appeared in one game, and we have officially got the return of Pichu, which I love that. I love that Pichu is playable in Smash again.
I want Pichu. I love Pichu, but I was really hoping we get Pichu back as the Pichu Bros, which would be Pikachu but ice climbers. It would balance out the fact that he would hurt himself in exchange for like wobbling and chain grabs, and like
awesome.
I don't know. I feel like that would have been a good way to balance it. Two Pichus that are weaker and damage themselves act as ice climbers versus Pikachu.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm upset about that still.
So yeah, not only that, but the return of Snake to Smash. And if you guys watched the Super Smash Brothers Invitational, you saw some really phenomenal Snake gameplay from MK Leo. So yeah, lots of characters, and on top of that, a lot of stages. So we have a roster of over 60 characters, but we have a stage selection of 75 plus. We have 75 confirmed stages, and it's a fusion. It seems like every stage ever made in a Smash game is going to be returning. So that includes
Plus
your Miiverse, which is, I don't know how they're going to work that out now that Miiverse is gone.
I mean, they could do it like Splatoon 2 did it, where you just have make your own posts this way for your own Smash version of Miiverse, and Splatoon has its own Splatoon version of Miiverse. I think that's how it should have been to begin with, actually.
You know what really got me excited? There were a lot of 3DS stages for Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS that I really loved, like the Spirit Train was a really great train.
Was good. Nintendo Dogs was bad, but I loved it anyways.
Yeah, it was nice to see like the Spirit Train back. Magicant from Mother,
George Brown. Yeah. Oh, so PictoChat is back, right? Is it PictoChat back?
I think they did show that, man. There's just a lot of awesome stages, and it was great.
Newport City.
Oh yeah, Newport City. All these great stages in the game. The only thing they didn't announce was a level creator like they had in Brawl.
Yes, well, they had it in Wii U as well, but also it was much worse in Wii U.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I love that. I during the direct though, I love how Sakurai kind of trolled us. He's like, I'm gonna with the this is the number of the characters as they appeared in the game, and then just started scattering the numbers around, and you start to see, like, I was confused for a moment. I was like, okay, does this mean that these fighters are coming back, or is it just means that at some point they were in a Smash game? Because you weren't extraordinarily clear on that. But then as it said, everyone is here, like it clicked, and I was like, oh my god, that is so many characters. This has got to be the largest fighting game character roster that there has ever been in any fighting game. Take that, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think, had
52 characters? 52 characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, so it did. I think Dragon Ball, what's the Dragon Ball fighting game, might have had more, though. I don't know.
So many characters. Oh, and man, and so many redesigns to characters, man.
Yeah.
Like the Link officially wearing his Champions tunic or
the Wild outfit. Yep.
Yeah. Mario has Cappy.
And
now
Cappy as well.
Yeah. The builder costume for Super Mario Odyssey look.
The wedding outfit. That's what I'm interested in. That he looks so super fly and slick in that.
Well, he'll look good standing next to Peach in the white dress variant that she has. Yeah. I like the changes aesthetically. Star Fox got a huge redesign reflecting Star Fox Zero, and so did
Falco and Star Wolf. Wolf got a redesign as well.
So yeah, we got to see a lot of redesigns for characters that either have been really established and needed them, or characters that have only appeared in one Smash game, but now
Needed the
like
update.
really, yeah, they look good, man. Like Wolf looks really good. Uh,
Mhm.
I liked a lot of what they showed as far as the roster. I like how they individually went through every single character,
Mhm.
and I like the fact they were able to re-get the licensed characters like
Mhm.
Bayonetta,
Snake.
Cloud,
Mhm.
Snake, Mega Man, Sonic. At this point, I don't think Sonic's ever not going to be in a
Bean
Smash
Smash,
game.
yeah.
But the other characters, I think, were more in limbo, especially characters like Mega
Cloud.
Man and Cloud. I didn't
Mhm.
think those characters could come back without like major issues. But yeah,
Mhm.
so all these great stages, all these great characters. I want to talk about the changes to the characters mechanically real quick.
Mhm.
So what we ended up seeing was that certain characters, because of their redesigns, their playstyles changed. Link got a major overhaul in the way
Mhm.
he utilizes his bombs. On top of
Yep.
that,
There are no
Link
bombs.
has three versions. There are versions of Link in this game, with young Link
Young Link,
finally
Toon Link,
turned,
and Link.
which nice to see because at this point now with the changes that they've made to Link, the adult Link, it looks like traditional Link fans are going to want to gravitate more towards the young Link because he's going to
Mhm.
play similar
Much
to how,
similar to
yeah,
previous Link. Yes.
exactly. He'll play like Smash 4 Link, I would assume,
Mhm.
but with, obviously being a lighter version of the character.
Yes.
Yeah. Link, removing the hook shot from Link. How crazy is that?
He's not a grapple character anymore, which really is really interesting. But also, you look at what the characters that we kind of have. You have young Link who doesn't get a hook shot, and you have Breath of the Wild Link who doesn't have a hook shot. Toon Link's the only one who has a hook shot now because he got one in his games. They didn't.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to see how players who play as Link will evolve. Ganon also got
Yes,
a
Ocarina
major
of Time.
redesign. Yep,
And
I love.
Zelda is from Link to the Past, which I
And
absolutely love her design. It looks
oh
so
yeah,
good.
no, A Link Between Worlds. Link
Oh,
Between
no,
Worlds.
yes, yes. No, well, they're the same game, just one's on the 3DS. Come
Yeah,
on.
but yeah, Zelda got the nice redesign. But Ganon's redesign, now he has a sword for his smash
Yes,
attacks,
which
which
not just for his taunt, so it makes sense.
looks so good to
Mhm.
see Ganon. And then his final smash got a major overhaul where he turns into the Demon King Ganon.
Yes.
So very very epic changes to specific characters. Now I do want to say that I felt like they, as much as I like the changes to Link, I don't think they went far enough with the character. I wanted to see more homage to Breath of the Wild as far
Mhm.
as how Link plays. I want like
Yeah.
I like the bomb mechanic where now he has remote detonating
Mhm.
bombs. I really wish he could have shifted between the circles and the cubes. It would have been nice
Yeah.
to use a different one. I like the dual arrows where he can now pick up his arrows and shoot two at a time. That's a very
Yes.
nice
Mhm.
mechanic.
I like
Uh,
that.
but at the same time, I feel like it would have been nice if when Link did the shield, it would be the Daruk.
Oh, Roach
The Daruk.
Protection. Yeah, that could have
Yeah,
been nice. Yeah.
it would have been nice. Or I don't think we saw his recovery, but
It
was
could
it?
be Revali's
It
Gale.
should have been Revalia's Gale.
I mean, when he dies, Mifa revives him, and then he respawns, like with Mifa sort of around him.
Yeah, I don't think they went far enough with the character
No.
as far as what they could have done. And the same applies for Mario. Like they did add Cappy to the game, but
But he's just cosmetic.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, you missed the opportunity to
To get rid
really,
of Flood finally.
well, not just that, but really overhaul Mario as a character. Like Mario is in desperate need of overhaul, and Cappy and the capture mechanic could have really been utilized in a lot of interesting ways. It would
I
have been
feel
nice.
like the capture mechanic might have been a bit much. It's fun to think about,
Well,
but
I mean, as long as there's a time limitation, like remember when in Mario Odyssey when you capture the T-Rex, there's a time limitation to that.
yeah.
Like you have to utilize that. Like it would have been nice if he did it, but made it a much shorter like capture, and like you could
I
just
don't know.
long enough to walk somebody off the stage with it.
I don't. I'm not a fan. I
Would've-
think that's a bit much. I think it's a lot of fun to think about, but in terms of a game, I don't want to be walked off the stage by my opponent just by getting hit with one move. I don't know. Kirby does it, but who cares?
I would have liked to see Mario have an overhaul. But yeah, from what I can tell, I've talked to a few people who are at the convention currently. They've told me that mechanically there are other changes to the game, like knockback has been significantly altered and like it's noticeable. My brother's currently at the convention and he's played the game a few times already.
I've got some friends up in the Nintendo World Store in New York as well playing it.
So they're talking about like it feels the knockback is a different feel, but it looks good. Like it looks like it's not something that can't be overcome, mechanically at least. But what else? What else is there to say about this game? Because there's just so much to talk about. Well, I do want to say this. It looks like with the addition of all these characters, it looks like the game also got faster as a whole. Like it got more close to
is more geared towards melee pacing, I think, but also not melee pacing.
Yeah, it's not quite melee.
But it's faster than it was in Smash 4.
Well, not just that, but mechanically, it looks like the game also really does cater to
melee.
The hardcore, competitive Smash players.
Characters feel like heavier. I would say knockback feels more melee knockback, from what I've seen at least.
And what I've been able to, infer from like, the new changes in the mechanic, like the new air dodge and like the fact that like you now become when you roll, it hinders your character. Like the more you roll, the more
can't spam it as much.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is great balancing for people who complain about that in Smash 4.
Exactly, and it'll quicken the pace of battle. That was another thing, like 4-stock or 5-stock in Smash 4. Like that was a big argument in the early, meta of the game. I think they eventually settled on 4-stock.
Well, I always saw 2-stock matches in Smash 4, which is very different from Melee entirely. But yeah, I believe the early meta was very like, well, do we force 5? Because like, no, you need to do 2 because it's just gonna take too long.
Well, and then you see changes to characters like Marth, who got like
fully voice acted and Dancing Blade sped up.
Exactly, which makes Marth a lot more competitive because in Smash 4 he was
Dancing Blade was
he was neutered.
Bad.
He was neutered.
Yeah, definitely.
I still think that there are certain characters who still feel a little broken. Like Bayonetta still looks a little bit broken.
There's a theory that my friends and I have been talking about how, like, how Sakurai said that I saw 2 or 3 bugs that I need to fix, like, right away during the tournament.
Yeah, he did say that.
We're saying that he's thinking 2 or 3 bugs means he's fixing Bayonetta. Is what.
It's also strange that MK Leo stopped using Bayonetta.
Yeah, he was doing well, and then just like he switched to Sonic. I don't know.
And that was only after he had a break. It made me wonder if like Sakurai had to say like, hey, we need to mute this character, like make her inaccessible, because he had the opportunity to select Bayonetta again. He just chose not to.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the game got a graphical overhaul as well.
So two things that I like to mention first. I'll mention this big one first. All Smash attacks have been streamlined now. So they're all much more, if not all of them are, but they're very cutscene based, more or less, like Landmaster. Landmaster is no longer Fox and Falco and Wolf's final Smash. It has been replaced by just a cutscene. It's a cutscene attack similar to Duck Hunt, Shulk, Captain Falcon, and a lot of the other characters have had similar changes to their final Smash. Wario still becomes Captain Wario, but it's a cutscene based attack instead of playing as him. Bowser becomes Giga Bowser, but it's not cutscene, but it's a controllable kind of cutscene.
It's a lot like Samus's final Smash.
Yeah, which her final Smash got changed as well.
Cosmetically, it looked like, though, to be honest. It didn't look like the power of the attack changed.
Zero Suit Samus also got the gunship altered as well, too, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she gets into her power suit and then shoots from the gunship. Yeah. Who else? Mega Man's got a
cosmetic change with Proto Man and Base. Yep.
Same for Shulk. Shulk got a nice overhaul in the way that he can switch between his Monado arts.
Yeah,
makes Shulk a lot more competitively viable. I think that was as good as the character was. I think ultimately he wasn't competitive.
His moves need to come out quicker still. Yeah. I think if they fix that, he'll be really nice because like especially with this altered like weight, his aerials do not come out fast enough.
To go back to the stages for a second, every stage got a major overhaul in the fact that you can now select it in either Battlefield or Omega form, or the Final Destination form.
Yeah.
So they can either have it flat completely, or you can have it flat with platforms, which will make almost every stage competitively viable. You won't just start to see things like the Animal Crossing stage get repeatedly selected in competitive Smash play, because now there were options.
So I also believe it wasn't touched in the direct, but I believe it was mentioned that you can turn just hazards off. You can just turn Ridley off. You can turn the Yellow Devil off now, which will also help a lot.
Speaking of Ridley,
yes,
we got
Ridley.
2 new fighters announced. I think we got 2 fighters that we hadn't seen prior. Ridley being one of them. Sakurai found a way to appease everyone and add Ridley to the game. He's a little bit undersized. He
looks gross this size. He is disgusting this size, and I don't like it.
But you know what? It's kind of like how big he was in Samus Returns. Like, they kind of scaled him down in that game. So it's almost like fitting, like, oh, there's a smaller version of Ridley. Now I can add him to Smash. And he's also hunched over a lot.
Yeah.
Too. But he's brutal. He doesn't look like an easy character to master, but he looks like, it looks like when you do get the grips, come to grips with him, he looks like he is going to be brutal. He's a powerhouse, and his attacks look vicious. And that announcement trailer for him, though, was extra hype. Love that trailer. They killed Mario and Mega Man in that trailer. Like, just blatantly killed them. They died. I know it's not so bad for Mega Man. He can be rebuilt. But Mario just died.
Yeah. Well, he's got 1-up mushrooms, right? 1-up mushrooms.
I would assume so. I felt like that trailer was a psych out, though, because they got me hyped for Subspace Emissary 2.
Right? Yeah. Well, first I thought Ridley, then I thought Subspace, and then like, no, it's just Ridley.
I was so mad. Like, I was happy. I was mad and happy at the same time, because it's like, Ridley. Oh, but that had me thinking it was Subspace Emissary.
Right? Yeah. No, same for me. In terms of my camp and Ridley, I think Ridley is too big, but I think his inclusion to Smash was inevitable. I wasn't gonna hate on him just because he's too big. I think he does look gross. Don't get me wrong; he does look disgusting, shrunk down like this. But I'm glad he's in the game. He deserves to be in the game. At least now the debates can finally stop because he's in the game. That's just the verdict now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's there. I just don't like seeing you shrunk down. It's disgusting.
Yeah. The other new character that was announced is Daisy, who is going to be part of
Echo Fighter.
Yes, the Echo Fighter, which is the new classification for clone fighters,
such as Lucina, Roy, and Dark Pit.
Yeah, I kind of like the character model for Daisy.
I love her character model. It looks so expressive and nice.
It doesn't look like Peach. Like she may fight exactly the same as Peach with minor variations, but no, man, like the character model is uniquely Daisy. It looks great.
I love it. Yes, there's like a Daisy skin for Peach in Smash 4, but it was just still Peach.
Yeah, it was just like a color. It was a
color swap, literally.
I was like, oh, that sucks. But yeah, like now to see Daisy as a playable character, and I like the term Echo character. I like that they have a classification now. They're not just we're not going to be calling them clones anymore. It's like, oh, this is an Echo character. Like, they have their own classification that applies to Dark Pit, Dr. Mario.
Well, Dr. Mario is not an Echo fighter, is he? He's his own fighter, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
he's technically a clone character, but so is Toon Link and Young Link. They're their own fighters. The only clone or Echo fighters I believe that are officially classified are Roy, Lucina, Dark Pit, and Daisy.
Marth, because he had
Well, Marth is the main one that Lucina. Like Peach is not an Echo fighter, but Daisy is. Yeah. Lucina's not. Pit's not. Did I say Lucina? I meant Marth.
Yeah. No. And then we got to see Inkling
in action.
And
a new stage for Moray Towers as well.
Moray Towers as a Smash stage. I hate Moray Towers in actual Splatoon, but as a Smash stage, they picked the best possible stage, man. The multi-layered platforms. That's really good. like a fighter like Pikachu could really utilize that to its advantage.
I don't like Moray Towers in this. I hate it more than I hate it in Splatoon. I kind of like it in Splatoon, honestly. I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of the hate it gets. But
it's just too big, but I love it. I love it in Smash. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to play in that stage. But more so, I love the Inklings in this game, man.
The Inkling looks really nice. I like the ink mechanic. The ink mechanic is that like you run low on ink if you use it too much. But also if you ink your opponents, get them covered in ink, you do more damage, you do more knockback. It does fade after a little while as well. You do need to recharge your ink. You recharge your ink by holding shield and pressing B, which is kind of nice. But as like a character, the moves all look really nice. The animation for Inkling looks incredible, I would say.
I love the fact that Inkling's attacks utilize different weapons. Mm-hmm. So you have the roller, you have the ink brush, you have the blaster, and you have the standard splatter shot, and you have the splat bombs.
Splat bombs. Mm-hmm.
So you have all these different weapons to choose from. I love the costumes for the character. Like you have 8 different costumes,
and they're all different ink colors as well. Exactly. So you can make your own Turf Wars in Smash.
So it's a very and then the like you were saying, the fact that the more ink you cover your opponent with, the more knockback
damage and knockback. Yeah,
that makes Inkling Girl pretty much a technical fighter in this game, because you're gonna have to really master things like you're gonna have to utilize ink management.
How to recharge ink management. Yeah, like it's almost like having to manage Cloud's limit, but you like have to do that constantly throughout the way you're fighting. In a 1v1, you won't get the kind of time to do that. And so in a 1v1 match, you have to sort of do that as you go, which will be really interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, that'll make the Inkling one of the most technical fighters in the game, which I really like that.
But to sort of help with that, like if you use your, I want to say it's side special or down special, I don't know which one's coordinating to what, but the roller move, you can, walking through the rollered ink will slow your opponent down as well, which is a nice touch.
You can also bury them by rolling over them with the roller, which allows you, first off, you stop their mobility, gives you opportunity to either manage your ink or just go for like major
smash attack, punch. But what I don't like about that is that I feel like that move will never actually get pulled off. I feel like if you see that roller coming, you're gonna shield or get out of the way. Like that's just what you do. I feel like it's gonna get punished if you use it a lot, and it's not gonna hit a lot.
Well, we have yet to see if any other moves that the Inkling has can spike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if she has another, because obviously I'm gonna say that berry technique is Inkling Girl's spike at this point, but we haven't seen any aerial spikes or anything else that would allow you to get that kind of momentum off. But yeah, I love the way mechanically they worked Inklings into the game. She's a good fit for this game when you see her working like that, and I love the fact that her final smash is a killer whale and something from Splatoon 1, not Splatoon 2. It just works out.
I really like the way the killer whale works. So you can like sort of aim the killer whale in many different directions. You can aim it as you go. You can leave it just there and sit in it, etc. So you can like, you can aim it at your opponents, or you could aim it like somewhere and you can throw your opponents into it. They sort of stay there taking damage. You can combo them while they're in the killer whale. You can
throw them with a smash attack and just get that, just punish. But at the same time, it looks like you can't, like, as long as you can't be punished for setting it up like you can in actual Splatoon. Yeah. Like if there's a punishable, if that attack is punishable, that will really hurt that particular character. But I think I love her. I love the way they've utilized her in the game, and she's gotten a lot of love. She got a lot of love in the tournament. They highlighted her mechanics in the Treehouse Live a lot over the week. They've just shown this character to be really prominent to this particular game, and I think that's great. Although I am a little disappointed that for a game called Smash Ultimate, we won't be seeing a whole lot of new fighters show up in this roster. I was really vying for one of the ARMS characters to show up. As far as third-party characters are concerned, I think we have enough third-party character support. Sorry, all you Banjo fans and Spyro and Crash Bandicoot fans.
I mean, the only real kind of third-party quote support I would like to see is some kind of indie rep. An indie rep in Smash, I think, is the last thing we really need.
Like a Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight or Shantae would be fantastic. I'm more in the Shantae camp than I am in Shovel Knight, but I really want to see indie represented. Just one indie. That's all I want. An indie representation in Smash is all I really care for at this point.
Going back to the title for a moment, just a brief moment.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a theory as to why it's actually called Smash Ultimate.
Okay.
This is Sakurai's swan song. This is the Smash game that Sakurai is going out on. That's why the roster is the way it is. That's why the stage selection is the way it is. That's why the mechanical changes that they've made to this particular game are the way that they are. Is that this is Sakurai saying, I am going to make one final Smash game, but it is going to stand above the rest. It is going to have everything that everybody has ever asked for and everything everyone has ever wanted in a Smash game. And I'm bringing shit back. I'm bringing back characters. I'm bringing back stages. I'm doing it all one last time, and it will be the ultimate version. And with that being said, I think mechanically it takes from the two best Smash games. It takes this, the majority of the speed from Melee, but it takes the balance of Smash 4 and it fuses them together a lot. I'm going to be surprised if a lot of this is based on Smash 4's infrastructure just at a higher rate of speed, and that makes the game look really fluid. Like we only saw a beta build for this game, and it looked really, really fast. It looked really fluid. I didn't notice any frame rate issues while they were playing. It looked like it was playing at 60 frames per second. And they did confirm that this game will run at 1080p, 60 FPS when docked, 720, and 60 when undocked, making this the definitive Smash game, the ultimate game. So I do think that this is Sakurai saying goodbye to the franchise, but with one large blowout.
I have heard people talking about that. I think that's a very plausible feel. I like how you mentioned that it started off like in the Smash Force infrastructure, though, because that sort of leads into what I was thinking. So I was thinking this started off as just a Smash 4 port, but Sakurai was like, okay, well, I can't give people a port, so we're gonna take the port, we're gonna fix every single thing that everyone has ever had a complaint with the series. And when you started and after all those complaints were addressed, everything was balanced. All the characters were added that people could complain about, that they weren't there, etc. It just became an entirely new game. I think it wasn't intended to be a new game, but it kind of just ended up being a new game with trying to address all those complaints.
I also think it started off as a port as well, but also there's always this thing that Sakurai tolls on him physically. And this when he showed up at the during this, when they showed him off during the direct, and when he walked out on the stage, he's skinny, but he's looked the healthiest he's looked ever.
Yeah,
he didn't look weathered, and it makes me think that there's something easier about this specific development cycle for Sakurai, and he just looks like a much more well-rested man.
Yeah, I believe he has said. I'm not sure if we talked about on the show, but we talked about his work schedule is a lot more easygoing, I believe, and not sure if we talked on the show. I've seen it somewhere. There's laws that are being followed that say he has this amount of work time. Obviously, he's on a tight schedule, but he's getting enough rest time, and it hasn't been as bad this time around. He said.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Because it's not really a true sequel. It does give off more, at least in my opinion, it feels like it gives off the port vibe without actually being a port. Is you share this sentiment, or is this a new game?
To me, a port is so. I've seen this around, and I feel like it's not a port. I feel like it is much newer than people give it credit for. I feel like the line between a sequel and a port is being blurred, though. Just as gaming in a whole, that line I think is being blurred. And I think just because it is so new, it's probably running off the Smash 4 stuff. I think it's getting lost in translation that it's not a port. It's not a port to me. I think it's definitely started off as just a port. And as things got changed, it became a whole new game is how I really see it. I think there was just so much stuff that needed to be changed. It's now a completely new game. Going on the I don't want to say topic of I don't know. I'll get to that later, I guess. Yeah. Any thoughts on what you think in terms of port?
Like I'm leaning towards it being a port, but like at the same time, like they've changed like mechanically, it's different.
Okay.
It, they've made
No.
enough
Okay.
fundamental changes that like even though I have like this urge that it's like it's not like 100% new Smash game
Hmm.
like the others have been in the franchise, but it's also not like
It's not a port.
it's not a port. It's like like you said, it's like the lines have blurred because fundamentally, I feel like it began its life as a port, but then it got the graphical overhaul because the Switch being more powerful. Then it got like the huge speed boost that we've
Hmm.
everybody who's touched it has, and
Hmm.
anybody who's viewed the game has gone on to notice. And then they fundamentally altered fighters like Link
Hmm.
Link being completely shifted to more reflect his Breath of the Wild persona. It goes to show that they took time to develop the characters
Further.
further individually. All the smash attacks getting upgraded really helps, and then fighters like Marth getting faster dancing blades, and
Hmm.
Cloud's like being able to see Cloud's limit break, and Shulk getting a much
Monado
more
selection. Hmm.
getting altering him in a way that makes him fundamentally more competitive. That's another thing I do want to point out is that the game as a whole feels a lot more geared to competitive play, specifically
Hmm.
tournament style competitive play, because now you have
Yes.
the short hop as a
Hmm.
true mechanic. Like short hopping is something that good Smash players will do because they're good at Smash. But now it's its own proper mechanic, and now like characters like Samus can their
In the air.
charge in the
Hmm.
air or hold their charge better. The fact that got rolling and
Nerfed.
air dodging as well. Like if you air dodge too
Hmm.
much, now there's a lot more lag.
Lag, and you can get
Which
punished really bad for
exactly
it.
you get they fundamentally made the game
Perfect
more
shielding
competitive.
is better as well.
I actually like the change to the perfect shield mechanic. I'm a pretty good Smash player. I'm not top tier, but I'm a pretty good Smash player. And perfect shielding in Smash 4 was a mechanic that I would rarely pull off because I just wasn't good enough at the timing. Uh, but
Uh,
now that the perfect shielding is coming from a shield drop,
hmm.
makes it a lot something I think that the timing will come a lot more natural to me.
Hmm.
So I like these changes. These type of changes make me think that it as much as I have the feeling that it does lean towards port, these
Hmm.
mechanical changes really make the game a lot more sound and a lot more competitive, and push it away from being a
Hmm.
100% true port.
All
Uh,
right.
it may actually be the ultimate version of Smash. Now we haven't seen like some of these hardcore mechanics or these game breaking mechanics that exist in Melee yet. Like
Hmm.
I didn't see wave dashing, and I don't ever want to get to a point in this game where wave dashing is a true mechanic.
Hmm.
Uh, that's a that's something that broke Melee, and
Hmm.
it really things like wave dashing really widened the gap between a high skilled player
Hmm.
and a casual player, and it made that gap really wide for a casual player to become a
Yeah.
high skilled player, because you
Hmm.
have to really learn how to fundamentally break the game in order to achieve that high level of play. So in that sense, even though this game gets more competitive, I don't necessarily think that it will draw in the Melee crowd. I think the Melee crowd will continue to stick with Melee because wave dashing won't be in this game. But ultimately, I think it's a more competitive game now than it's
Hmm.
ever been, because it's got the balance of Smash 4 with the majority of the great mechanics that Melee brought into the franchise.
So I want to bounce back off of that into what I think would really just fine if it's a port or not. And I'm sure a lot of the competitive players might not care about this stuff. But seeing what other modes we get, I think will really determine if this is a new game or a port. If we got another Subspace Emissary or story mode, that would be huge. If we got Smash Tour, Smash Run, a revamped Break the Targets, Home Run Contest, stuff like that, I think is where we'll see the entirety of the game, and if it's really Smash 4 for its a new game. I think in terms of like collectibles, like Smash is kind of a museum of Nintendo in a sense, which
Agreed.
their E3 booth or like setup and so forth is kind of like a Nintendo museum too, which I like it a lot. Like you have Donkey Kong's tie on display and Mario's hat, and that's super cool. But going back to like you have like the collectibles and the soundtracks and all that other stuff too that you unlock throughout the game, and I think that will also be a big influential like piece to that.
Yeah, you know what? My brother actually sent me pictures from the Nintendo booth, and when you talk about that museum, like you are not kidding. Like they had like full scale replicas of like the Monado, the Hogan's Alley Ken, the hammer from Kirby, Star Fox's visor. I'm looking at the Inkling,
the Master Sword, the splatter shot. Yep.
Yeah, look, like if you. Probably hard to see here, but he took a picture of the splatter shot.
And it's nicer than the Best Buy one I bought over there, for sure.
And I got that one from Jack's Pacific that actually shoots slime, and I was like, wow.
That's the one I have. I just got it from Best Buy, and then I didn't know what brand it was.
Yeah, Jack's Pacific. I love that. That's actually I named that my 2017 Toy of the Year. And that was a pretty good replica, except for like that little port at the top where you actually put the slime in. But yeah, man, like you're right. Smash is and always has been a history of Nintendo, and it's gotten to the point where it's branched out to include other franchises like Pac-Man, Sonic, Snake. Bomberman is actually in this game as an assist
trophy. While Luigi is unfortunately an assist trophy, I know many people are
so is Knuckles. So is Knuckles.
So
I know, and there are a lot of things that we see in this game that kind of can bum a few people out, but I ultimately think that this does have the potential to truly be the definitive Smash game. This is the Smash game that anyone and everyone can play. I really hope for a single player campaign as well. I really want a Subspace Emissary style game with better mechanics, but I hope to see that in the game because that was just a lot of fun. Like as broken as Subspace Emissary was, it was cool to have like that story mode that has all these like characters
colliding and just colliding. Honestly,
it was so good. Like the Star Fox Diddy Kong meetup is still one of like my favorites.
Fighting off with Rayquaza of all things, like come on, you can't beat that.
Yeah, they did such a good job on that Subspace Emissary, and visually it was beautiful too.
Yes. But then going back once again, so you said like wave dashing could potentially break it. I think we'll also see post-game stuff such as balancing throughout the series for the months to come. I think we'll see a lot of balancing. So if wave dashing does eventually become like found, I think it could be patched out, and I think that should be content for everyone. I think we also might see potentially DLC characters as well. So people who are still up in the air, like I want Shantae, obviously. People who want like all the other characters, they still have a chance in DLC. Plus, there's 6 months till the game comes out, so we might see some more reveals as well. I had one more thing I was going to say, and I forgot on that subject, but oh well. I want to maybe any more major thoughts we have as the game on a whole.
Yeah, I think the game actually looks really good at this juncture. I mean, it remains to be seen. I like the accessories they've announced for the game as well.
Yes, GameCube controllers are back.
Officially. I do think that this iteration of the GameCube controller is a little bit muted in comparison to the one for Smash 4. I think that one
I agree.
Ultimately had like the better like
design and logo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That being said, though, it's still nice to have
a GameCube controller.
Exactly, and I will be picking one up just because. They didn't announce a new adapter for the GameCube.
No, but I'd assume we would, right?
Yeah. I like the Inkling Girl amiibo more than I like the Inkling Girl amiibo in the actual Splatoon line. No new amiibo line, just amiibo characters that will be added that will go great with the existing Smash line. So obviously Daisy got announced, but they hadn't made her yet.
But she will get one.
Yeah, Ridley got shown off. Looks great. A lot of cool things. I'm excited about this game, and it's the only real true thing that makes me sad is that the release date is so far out. It's taking Xenoblade Chronicles 2 release date at December 7th instead of launching closer to Nintendo Switch Online in September.
I mean, either way, they're going to be making the money off people playing for glory. So what do they care? I do have to ask you though, what are your like favorite characters you're looking at right now?
Right now, I'm looking forward to, as always, maining Pikachu, but I'm excited to try out the following. I want to see what changes got made to Young Link. He was always a standout character for me in Melee. I want to play as Pichu again. I want to see how fundamentally he works. I want to see if you can wobble with Ice Climbers. Nobody actually confirmed whether or not you could do that.
Okay.
Inkling Girl is my highlight character. I think she stole the show, and I can't wait to play as an Inkling because I want to see how it feels to play with a more technical style fighter. I mean, she truly is technical when you have things like your ink management. And I think that's it right now. I mean, I'm gonna hold out to hope that they announce a few more fighters, and if they do, I'll be looking forward to playing as them. I do want to play as Ridley though. I do want to see how he feels because he's such a bulky character. I feel like he's going to play differently than Bowser and Ganon.
All right. So my favorite characters I'm looking forward to right now are at the top of the list. I have Palutena. Palutena got some nice changes. I mained Palutena right before I mained the Mega Man actually. So seeing her come back and have these changes is really, really nice. So Palutena got like her neutral B does both auto reticle as well as it does explosion, which is super cool. As well as her down B is now both reflect barrier and counter, which is huge. But we don't.
Yeah.
I don't think we know what her side B is either. So that is yet to be seen. I think.
You know who I wonder about? I wonder if Charizard got removed as an individual fighter.
He did. That was, I'm gonna get to that actually in a sec. So next on my hype list is Daisy. I really love the idea of Peach. She's just too skilled for me. Her skill cap is way too high for me. But I'm hoping Daisy will be a better fit maybe, especially with this new game, the new mechanics. But I'm really excited for Daisy as well. Zelda, her redesign is amazing. Just like Peach, I feel like Zelda's always been really fun, really cool stuff you can do with Zelda, but is held back by a lot of things as well. With Daisy and Peach, it was the skill cap. With Zelda, it's kind of just like how awkward her data is. Then 4 is Wii Fit Trainer, because Wii Fit Trainer got the best buffs out of any character announced. I don't care how good Palutena's buffs were. I don't care how good Zelda's buffs were. I don't care how good Wolf's buffs were, because Wolf got some nice buffs. Yeah. But Link got some major changes, but Wii Fit Trainer has a face.
Yeah.
Wii Fit Trainer has a face. You cannot top that. Wii Fit Trainer has a face. So she's
That's a
high
weird
on my
one.
list.
That was weird to me that it came by request. Like, can you give her a better
From
face?
Wii Fit, yeah. Right?
Like, that's just such a weird request. I mean, but whatever. Uncle Sakurai is, he's gonna appeal to everyone.
But I had something else I was gonna say on that topic. Oh shoot. Oh well. But I guess next on the list is Pokemon Trainer. So Pokemon Trainer is coming back. He can switch just the same way as he could. I've been playing more Charizard than I have been playing Mega Man recently, actually, which is kind of crazy to think about. I'm still not good at Charizard. I'm much better at Mega Man. I have no experience with Charizard, but like I've been playing him a decent bit. So I love the idea of being able to like, okay, well, Charizard has some bad matchups, but Ivysaur is good in this matchup, so I can take Ivysaur, and it really is cool to sort of think of that. I do get 3 characters in one this time, and I'm not. But the fact that they took out the stamina that the Pokemon had, so you had to switch eventually in Brawl. That's not a thing anymore. So you essentially have 3 mains in one if you get good at them, which is really cool. So you could have your heavyweight Charizard who's good at this matchup, and you can have your Squirtle. And even though you can main just one of them and stick with one of them, you always have that option to stick to change. Which mid-game, like, it's almost the equivalent, I feel like, of switching from your main to your Pocket Cloud, but instead of between games in the middle of the match, which is crazy cool to me. Other than that, I am worried that they lost Charizard's down B, Rock Smash. I feel like Rock Smash was probably Charizard's best special, honestly. So if
Yeah, but I mean, if that's gonna be the way that you switch between the characters, I mean, you have to sacrifice.
they could do it maybe how Inkling recharges her ink. You could do shield and press B. Maybe that because that's some kind of Inkling couldn't Charizard and Pokemon Trainer do that? Because like Charizard really does need a Rock Smash. The super armor he needs it. He needs that armor. I do kind of hope that since we're getting Pokemon Trainer back, that Charizard gets his glide back. He does not have the best recovery currently. And
just the double jump right now.
Yeah, he has just 2 jumps and then his recover, but they're also very short. It's nothing like Kirby, etc. So he needs the glide, I would say. I think also you have Ivysaur. Ivysaur does not have good recovery either. So between the two of the 3 characters you're getting, you have Charizard who's bad recovery currently, and Ivysaur who's bad recovery. Squirtle has an okay recovery. So you kind of have to think like, okay, do I stick with Squirtle for all of that? I don't know. Like always recover Squirtle? That doesn't seem quite right. I don't know.
I feel like though with the Pokemon Trainer, each one of them gets a recovery. So if you're quick, you can switch between them and then do all 3 of those recoveries at one at a time.
So if I use Charizard's up B, I can't just swap though, can I? I go into free fall and I can't switch. I go into free fall, I think. I think you would go into free fall, but I think you could do something where you use Charizard's 2 jumps and then swap into Squirtle's recovery, who has a better recovery. Yeah. I think that's totally the thing. Take advantage of the better jumps from Charizard, and then someone's better up special.
Exactly.
Besides that, like I'm obviously a Mega Man main, so I'm interested to see how he'll change. I think he seems the most untouched to me so far. Mega Man, just by looking, seems the most untouched to me. But I feel like in this new sort of, I don't say new engine, but this new mechanics, how everything works, Mega Man is so complex that like one change to like knockback or something can just ruin his entire gameplay.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if Metal Blades don't have as much hit stun, the same hit stun, the Kamamushi tech could be completely lost. And so because the Kamamushi tech is completely lost, he could drop 3 whole tiers on a tier list.
Although they should eliminate the Leaf Shield for something better. I would like to see that.
It's good as it is. It's not great, but it has its uses.
I hate the Leaf Shield. I feel like it does nothing.
As a Mega Man, you come to appreciate it with time. You come to appreciate the Leaf Shield.
Do you have anything else on this game?
I mean, game controllers coming back is nice. It's coming to Switch. So you have portability, home consoles. Seems like the perfect balance. Everything is here. We have all the characters ever. The only thing I think this really is missing, as we've stated before, is like more new characters. The problem is like, what new characters do you really pick? You could get like Captain Toad and Waluigi, but you think that when you're having to pick those characters, you're really grasping at straws. You know, there's not many icons left. There's obviously Springman and Labo Man, maybe, but I don't think there's a lot of other big options. I think the only characters left are really minor characters and new characters.
Yeah, at this point, like with a roster this large, like
Nintendo needs to create a bunch of new IPs, honestly.
I mean, there's really no room. I think, like you were saying earlier, maybe with some any representation, and that's about it. But yeah, as a whole, I think Smash Ultimate looks good. I look forward to it being the definitive Smash game, and I hope that if it is the definitive Smash game, then I hope that it's the one that Sakurai chooses to ride off on as his final Smash game, because better to leave when you're at the top than when to disgrace yourself with shitty games.
The only complaint I would have with this being the final game is that like 20 years from now, will we get Smash at all? Is my question. Or like this is the kind of game I feel like I would not mind receiving a port of this every single new Nintendo console.
Well, I think we'll still get Smash. I just think that Sakurai's tenure on it should be. I think his tenure on Smash should just end at this with one big game.
Yeah, I know. I think that would also be the case, but I also feel like where do you grow to a new game other than like adding a Subspace Emissary and stuff? I feel there's just making a whole new game is a lot more challenging.
Tag matches?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like
But
where
I
you can
think
swap between characters, Pokemon Trainer style, where you select
see,
three. And,
well, I think I've mentioned this several times before, but Project Melee or Project M had the that was from subsets that I really liked, where when you lose a stock, you switch into a next character. So if you're picking your characters, I pick Mega Man, then I pick like Palutena, and then when Mega Man dies, I switch to Palutena, or to pick Mega Man 4 times, and I have Mega Man 4 times, or Mega Man, Palutena, Mega Man, and switch accordingly. And that's what I like to see.
I'd like to see Proto Man show up as an Echo Fighter. That'd be dope.
I feel like Proto Man would never be an Echo Fighter because he's so radically different. Like look at Mega Man 10. Proto Man has 2 pilots. Mega Man has 3. He has the shield. He has the Big Bang Buster, I think it's called. And all these other moves, and even his moves that are similar to Mega Man work very differently. I think, the 2 pellets that he shoots will have more hit stun and do more damage, but he only gets the 2 pellets. He won't get Metal Blade. He'll get very different moves. I think he'll be more similar to Lucas as to Ness and Proto Man to Mega Man. I think that's what it will be.
All right. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I think this was a really good discussion. I think we got all this stuff.
The major points, you got the amiibos, the controllers, the big parts of the game, the roster, our own thoughts, our own wish lists.
Basically what we talked about, what we know right now as it stands. Yep. We hope to see more. I do assume that we'll see a direct closer to the release of the game, somewhere around like October or November is when I think we'll see that. But yeah, look forward to getting my hands on this game. I hope they have a test punch for it at some point. I know people in New York are currently playing it right now, and everybody at the convention is playing it. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for our E3 coverage. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank Blues and I want to thank Jaden for being here today. We had a couple issues, but we're all here, and it's our first E3 as a team. So yeah, I think we did a fantastic job. I think we're putting out 2 big fun episodes for our audience. And if you guys haven't heard the first part yet, go ahead and listen to that, because in that part we talk about all the overall other stuff. Yes, we talk about all of E3 as a whole. That includes Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Nintendo. We talk about all those presentations, and we have this second half, which is our Smash half. So I hope you guys really enjoyed our E3 coverage. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check out my live reaction that I did for the Nintendo Direct, because the Smash portion of it is freaking hilarious. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. You can hit me up on Twitter at Nice193. You can email me at nice193@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoPowerZone. If you're a fan of this podcast, you can always download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, stream new episodes on Stitcher Radio. But if you want to watch us live, you can catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/NintendoPowerZone.
Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at VKingBlues. Blues, once again, as always, spelled BLOOZ. It's been a blast talking E3, talking Smash today. Thank you once again for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure.
All right, and guys, we are going to go on break. We're going to be back in 3 weeks. This E3 coverage really weighs me down. So this particular year, we're going to, take an extra week off. So we'll be back in 3 weeks, unless something major happens, and then we'll be back as regularly scheduled. But for the foreseeable future, we'll be back in 3 weeks. We will see you then. And remember, as always, stay fresh.